What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be taking a look at the homecoming drop, the players, the objectives, the house rules, all of those things in this video. Now, look, I've watched through all of this, so I know exactly what is to be coming, specifically when you're looking at specific challenges, specific cards that are indeed coming out. Look, I like this drop. I like what EA did as far as a whole picture, man. We needed some, I think, new cut content. And it seems like that's what exactly EA did for us. So again, I'm a fan of it. I think, as far as from top to bottom, it is something that is good for the entire game. So we're going to be looking at that in this video. New homecoming drop, obviously, today. Now, here's the first thing to note. You got 3 different homecoming players that you guys can get for absolutely free. Now, they're not 89 overalls. You have to upgrade them to an 89 overall. Now, one nice part about it is if you do grind, and again, you got to grind the house rules event, which I think is going to be a fun event. We'll talk about that in a second. But you got to grind the house rule event to get tokens. And if you use your tokens on the wrong player or a player you don't end up liking, you can refund them and then actually apply them to another player. So it's kind of a cool concept to me. Definitely use it on a wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Those are going to be your better cards in my opinion. Now, the house rules event. Here's what I kind of like. It's unique. Obviously, it's going to take me even a little bit to figure out exactly what it's going to be. But it says you have 7 downs to score. So I don't know where you get the ball in the field, anything like that. But you have 7 downs to score. You're in 1 point for a 10-yard play, 6 points for a touchdown, 8 points for a 20-yard touchdown, 12 for a 40-yard touchdown. If you take the lead by 42 points, you win the game. I personally like house rules. I think it's fun. I think it's unique. And this is available for 21 days. So I don't know exactly like how long the grind specifically is going to be. But if it's only available for 21 days, I don't think you're going to need that many wins, anything crazy. Now, I'll do a video talking about the specific rewards as we do go through it. Here you guys can see in the bottom right hand corner, I might be covering some things, but I can see it. You guys can see the level 1 through 8. Level 9 through probably 12. Level 13, you get a homecoming upgrade token. Level 14, you get a 9,000 coin reward. And level 15, you get another upgrade token. So it's basically just coins and upgrade tokens throughout. I personally, and this is just me in my opinion, but I wish that they would give us some, BND, maybe, you don't have to say BND, but some players that are decently rewarding for some no money spent players as you go up the ranks. But I'm personally a big fan of house rules. Now, here's an interesting thing. I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but the way this guy described it is you can somehow get these homecoming float items. Now, again, I think it's by grinding specific objectives. You guys can get these items. Now, if you get these items, you can lock it in for if you get 5 of them, the strategy token. Now, what is the strategy thing? Well, for your homecoming players, guys, it's going to give them +2 acceleration, catching. You guys can see down below like zone coverage. But I only think it's going to work for your homecoming players. So it's more of a reason like if you get this strategy item to run homecoming players. They're going to be some of your best players anyways. I personally am a big fan of this. Again, something new, something unique to the game. So that's kind of the background. Now we'll look at the cards that are coming today in college football ultimate team, starting with Tanner Kaziol. 84 speed tight end, not bad for a budget option. Run blocking is not going to be his thing. To me, I still like Jason Morrow more than Tanner Kaziol, but he is fine. Definitely a solid tight end that you can pick up and run. Again, not necessarily going to be a tight end that I'm going to run or that I would necessarily tell you guys to run, but he's fine. Definitely a card that obviously I think you can pick up and have some success with, especially at that tight end position, in which, look, tight ends I think are super important in this game. So that's our first card that we did see today that is released. Now, this homecoming set, the way the guy today talked, it's like, we're only getting cards from 4 different teams. Those teams, I guess, somehow have a homecoming game or something. I don't know. It's kind of a weird type of job. It's gonna, it's gonna just be like a trial and error thing. But these guys are in a homecoming game, and so I guess they get cards. That's what it's gonna be like every week. Tavion Nicholson, cornerback, 85 overall, 85 speed, 85 acceleration, 86 zone coverage. If you do play a lot of zone coverage, Nicholson is going to be a stud, guys. He's gonna be an absolute beast if you are a guy that does play zone coverage. Now, if you're a guy that plays man coverage, not going to be great. Still not bad. 81 man coverage, but you can find better man cover corners in the entire game. Zone coverage-wise, he is going to be one of the best zone cover corners in the game that we do have. EJ Lightsey up next, 82 speed, 86 acceleration. Now, I'm really eager to see what his coverage looks like because he is a pass coverage outside linebacker. 82 speed's not great. Good acceleration, good tackler, but on the card, you can't really, the 83 zone coverage, I guess you can see. So gonna be decent in zone coverage. Obviously, man coverage probably gonna be okay. Not my favorite, just because, again, he can't really get off blocks. He's not gonna get after the quarterback. He's just such a one-dimensional option. And for me, I like outside linebackers that can do a little bit of both. Can get after the quarterback as well as play coverage. Andre Lamas up next, right guard, pass blocker, elite, man. If you do like to throw the football, he's going to be one of your best budget right guards in the entire game. And honestly, his run blocking isn't horrible. When I'm looking at this card, the first thing I think of is, how is this card an 85 overall? I guess that's my first question because his stats are actually incredibly good. Lamb is definitely a guy that, again, if you are in need of a guard, which I feel like the guard positions are pretty weak right now, he's a stud. LaMiles Brooks up next. 88 speed strong safety. This card is an 88 overall, but an 88 speed strong safety. 91 acceleration. He has an 87 zone coverage as well. So a lot of what I would pick up would be based on whether you play man or zone coverage. But if you play zone coverage at the strong safety position, he is the best strong safety. And I've been talking about it in my videos recently. I feel like we kind of lack good strong safeties in the game right now. Brooks fills that void, depending on his price. Gonna be definitely a pickup for my specific squad. Devin Neal, free safety. Not better than Malachi Starks, but if you need a guy in run support, he's a beast. Pass coverage, not great whatsoever, which I personally think is more valuable right now in the game. But his run support is ridiculous. Great speed, great acceleration, great tackler as well. Definitely plays his role in the game if you do need a run support guy. Caden Samanza up next, 86 speed, 86 throw power, good accuracy as well. If you run any play action, not going to be great, but if you're not running a lot of play action, this card looks like a beast. I'll have to see on CFB Fan if he does throw a tight spiral. With that, again, I don't know what the throw accuracy stat really means, but it is on CFB Fan. I'll look at that as well. See if this card is one of your better quarterbacks in the game, but just from the eye test, definitely appears like he is going to be one of your best quarterbacks in the game right now. Then we do see an offensive lineman, if I can get him up here. Okay, Malcolm Lamar Sr., pass protector. 87 strength, 85 pass block. I don't necessarily love this card for an 88 overall. Again, if you compare his stats to the 85 overall offensive lineman, he's not that much better. Yes, a slightly better, overall card, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something. Obviously, good in pass protection compared to run blocking, which I personally like. He's going to be a fine left tackle in the game, for sure. I guess think he's probably just going to be slightly overpriced. Maybe I'll be wrong, but that's just kind of my initial thoughts on the card. Already talked about Samosa. I'm trying to see if I'm missing anybody else here that I haven't really covered. I feel like these guys are out of order. Is there anybody else, or is that it? Is that the it for the homecoming drop? Llamas, we talked about, yeah, I think we've talked about everybody today in this video. We talked about Nicholson. We talked about all of these cards. And so for me, obviously, I think Samanza is going to be one of the more fun, not fun, but the biggest kind of name today. A quarterback dropping that is going to be an incredibly good point guard. Those are, again, all of your 88 or lower cards. Then we get into the meat and potatoes. I don't even want to call it, the fun part of today's drop, but definitely the big ballers today. 90 overall center, Federico, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. 90 strength, great pass blocker. You look at it as far as a pass protector, he's going to be the best pass protector we have in the entire game. So talking about all of the linemen we have, he is the best pass protector we have in the game. Look at his stats, guys. Absolutely elite. Pass blocking 90 plus basically overall all the way across the board. Run blocker, not going to be as good, but just an absolute stud in pass protection. And again, run blocking, he is going to be just fine. A stud at that center position. Probably going to be insanely expensive though for at least the first couple of days he is released. Quincy Riley, the next card we get today. Cornerback from Louisville here. 90 speed, 88 acceleration, really good in man coverage, solid in zone coverage, solid in press. There's There's no flaws in this card. This card's one of your best, if not the best corner in the entire game. 90 speed combined with 90 man coverage is a problem. Imagine trying to get open on this card. All I'm going to say is good luck. This card is going to be pure clamps in the game right now. One of your best corners, if not the best corner in the entire game. And I like a corner that can play both man and zone. And honestly, I feel like right now in the game, it's pretty rare to find a corner that can do both. Riley can absolutely do both. This card is a beast. Definitely a card that if you want the best team in the game, he plays on your specific squad. Then we get Romello Height, left end. Now, if you don't have James Pierce Jr., I'm not saying he's as good, but here you go. This card is that type. I don't even want to say that type of level, but that type of player. 86 speed, 92 acceleration for a left end. Great tackler, great finesse move. Not good block shed. That's the one thing that does concern me a little bit. But if you need a left end to get after the quarterback, Romello Height is going to be that man. The best left end we have in the game, and it's not particularly close. I feel like that is something that we've kind of lacked so far. Obviously, I'm a really big fan of Julius Peppers, but outside of that, I feel like we lack our ends in the game. Height definitely is going to improve upon that. So definitely a big time player right there. Then we see, how do you pronounce his name? Magwood. I don't even know his first name. Qian Magwood here. This card, 90 speed, 90 jump, good catching throughout, good short route runner. Mid route runner is incredible as well. Deep route runner at 87 is fine as well. One of your best wide receivers in the game. I mean, these 90 overalls are all absolutely elite. They're all insanely good. Now, price-wise, they're all going to be insanely expensive, especially Magwood, especially the corner. The corner is going to be ridiculous in price today. But all the cards, to me, are incredibly good and are cards that can play on the highest level and make the best team in the game. Magwood is an absolute beast. Now, I think he's only 5'11", but as a slot receiver, it's not going to get better than Magwood in this game. Now, those cards all do, you can lock in 88 overalls to get a random 90. Again, I don't think sets are ever worth it. There hasn't been a set, unless it's been glitched, this year that has been worth it. So that's just kind of what I look at with the sets. Most of the times, they're really not worth it. Now, our LTD today is Joe Burrow. I think this card stinks. Now, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe he'll end up being really good because of his accuracy, but I think this card stinks. 78 speed on Joe Burrow. I just don't know. Now, I know there is a way that you can get the free Joe Burrow, but this is your LTD today, and I'm just not a fan of Joe Burrow. If you want to hype this card up, by all means, do it, but he is not good for an LTD. Probably shouldn't even be expensive because I think the 88 overall quarterback is better than Joe Burrow. That's what we're seeing today as far as the set, as far as the drop. To me, I'm a fan of this drop. I'm a fan of this set. There's a new grind in house rules. There's a free part of it. There's, there's, pack part of it. I like this homecoming drop, especially even with the strategy items. It's filled with a bunch of new content. Again, in game, I'll show all of this when it is released today. But that's going to wrap it up for our video. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.